Hey guys, what's up? I'm Morgan and welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about fashion marketing research, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what you can do for your fashion brand or fashion boutique in order for you to actually be a competitor in this field. A lot of times as a new business or even some established businesses, a lot of times people look confused when they go onto your site and they don't really buy anything because there's no clear directive on what you're trying to sell or if it's actually for me as a customer. So basically, you have to understand your design aesthetics, meaning you have to understand the exact person that you're designing for. So if you're designing for a certain niche, you need to understand the niche that you are in. Make sure you guys check out this video right here about how to 10x your fashion brand and create more sales and generate that type of audience that you are really looking for, and you will be above your competition. Just watch that video, check it out, but back to fashion marketing. What you want to do as a brand owner or business owner in the fashion business, you want to do real research in order to figure out your market. Okay, there's so many different niches within the fashion industry, and a lot of them are like fast fashion. You have the mid-level fashions, you have luxury fashion, value fashion, you have a flipped type fashion market. Now when it comes to those markets, you need to understand, are you a part of it or are you not? If you don't know which market you belong in, the sales are not going to come as often and they're not going to be consistent within your fashion brand. So first things first, most times if you are independent designer, you're not going to be in the fast fashion market. Fast fashion companies are like Boohoo, Pretty Little Thing, Forever 21, Fashion Nova. It's the real trendy type shops that you can go if you know that if something's popping right now, you know they're going to remake it and sell it at an affordable price because they can produce it in large quantities, they can produce around the world, and it's going to sell very fast, i.e. fashion, fast fashion. So the next thing that you want to understand is you might not go under the luxury fashion tier. Now, luxury fashion is obviously major brands, designer brands, Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, those type of brands. I'm not even going to touch on that because we're not there, okay? So if you want to go into that market, obviously do the research on that market, but this comes after building your brand up over time. Now another market could be the flipped fashion market. Now what I consider flipped fashion is more so the thrifters. It's you going out thrifting. Like, you can thrift luxury goods. That will also put you in the luxury field, except for at a more affordable type rate. So you can go out and thrift designer goods. You can thrift things according to times, meaning like 60s, 70s, 80s era, 90s era. You can have a more focus driven market. You're just flipping things, flipping clothing that you find, and you're selling it for a higher price point. So that could also be a niche. That is literally a niche. You have the value areas. Now, obviously, if you're an indie designer, you probably won't fall under the value fashion market. Value fashions are more like the Targets, the Walmarts, Costco's, Kmart's, stores like that sell clothing, but they sell it at a very valuable and affordable price. Meaning you can go in and you can probably shop for your entire family and find something there at a reasonable price. Another one would be streetwear, high-end streetwear. You have obviously the one that everyone knows of is Supreme, so it's brands like that, and you really want to know which niche you fall under in order for you to start your marketing research. Now that you have figured out hopefully what niche that you're in, the next thing you want to do is understand what the hell is fashion marketing, okay? Fashion marketing is really the management behind your brand. It's what goes on behind the scenes before your customer sees anything that you have been working on. So now, like I said, know your niche. If you know your niche, the marketing aspect goes by really, really, really fast. Once you know your niche, I would say get like a list and write down the top 5 within that niche. Focus on those top 5. Look at how they're doing marketing, ads, campaigns, promotions. Look at how they're doing those things. And in order to understand those things, most of the time, in order to get a clear picture of how brands are ran, look at the first collection at every season, meaning fall, summer, winter, spring, those collections can give you an idea of how they're going to operate throughout the season because they've done marketing research and they know their audience. They also know, because of the trends that are happening, how they could basically tweak everything and give people a real perspective of what their brand actually is. So when you're doing your marketing research, you need to first focus on the campaign that goes along with your designs or the pieces that you pick for your boutique. A lot of times boutique owners, they just buy all these trendy pieces and it's like, wait a minute, how are you supposed to shoot a lookbook if all the pieces don't connect? It's like you have summer stuff, fall stuff, you have stuff for seasons that I don't even know. So you need to, I would say, make it more focus driven by buying things that look like a collection. That way you can actually shoot a campaign and you can have pieces throughout that season that play off of one another. That has to do with your research, okay? So figure out a collection, curate some sort of collection that's really cohesive, that goes with your design aesthetics and what you think your brand is trying to tell the customer. So that's your campaign. That's the first part, that's your campaign. The next part you want to focus on is the advertisements and the promotions. Now, a lot of people might say that's the same thing. It's not. An advertisement is basically showcasing something, saying, oh my God, this is what's popping, this is the next big thing. And it creates engagement with your customer because it's like, wow, they're advertising this is the next drop. You can advertise in different ways. Now, promotion is different. Promotions are kind of, I would say it's more like the sales driven engagement that comes with your brand. So when you do a season, when you have your curated collection, your curated collection, and you're trying to map out exactly when you may or may not have some sort of promotional sale or promotional call to action, meaning driving people back to an email list or something, you need to map that out as well. That's why I said management. If you know all these things beforehand, your brand is gonna run very, very smooth, okay? So figure out the promotional times. Usually people do promotions towards the end of a season, and that's because they're trying to get rid of the products that did not sell. So they'll offer something in return, like let's say sign up, get on my mailing list and get like 15% off your next purchase, or buy 3 items and get the 4th item for like $5. I don't know, whatever it is that works for your brand, but you need to have certain things set in place just so that you know, according to your store's analytics, when the appropriate time to drop those promotions. Now, the last part about the fashion marketing research that you want to do for your brand is the presentation. Now, don't skimp on the presentation, okay? Make sure that the presentation of your brand really does translate into your brand's aesthetic. If you have a contemporary brand, you might want to focus on more clean lines, more clean backgrounds, more of a beautiful like scenery, okay? Because it's contemporary, you know, it's kind of like resort all year long. You might want to focus on that. If you have a streetwear brand, the presentation should probably look more hip. It should probably look more like, oh my God, I need that right now because I'm a hype beast and I need it. So focus on things like taking photos outdoors. You can take studio photos, obviously, but I would also focus on outdoor photos, capturing a moment, capturing actual action shots, like in the moment, because streetwear is really about lifestyle, so you want to focus on lifestyle content, so on and so forth, depending on what your brand's niche is, okay? So let's just recap real quick. When it comes to fashion marketing, you need to understand, you as a designer, you need to understand your design aesthetics. What are you trying to sell? Basically, again, just to recap, are you selling trendy clothes? Are you selling like club attire? Are you selling sportswear? Are you selling like streetwear? Figure that out, your design aesthetics. Then you move on to the actual marketing department, and that's after you figured out your top 5 in your market and understanding how they move and how they operate, so that way you can actually have a competitive edge within those top 5. You want to figure out the management. Your management is your campaigns, your advertisements, and your promotions. The last part about the fashion marketing research is understanding the presentation that goes along with the management. So you have your ads, your campaigns, and your promotions. Now you need to make your design aesthetics fit into that presentation on how you're going to display that to all of us as your customer. Okay, so that is my tips on fashion marketing research. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you really got some tips and you have a takeaway from this video. Head to the comment section below because I have a question down there for you, okay? Make sure you like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we are growing here in this fashion field. And I will see you guys on my next video. Peace.